Ew, dude, this is sick, man. Hey, so what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Frank's Garage. For today's flip, I'm going to be showing you guys a 2008 YZ250 that I picked up with carburetor issues. It's leaking fuel. There it is, 2008 YZ250F. It doesn't start. It bump starts, but it won't start normally, and it leaks. It just runs like crap. So hopefully with the carburetor clean. First things first, we're going to take the seat off. Let's go ahead and take this thing off. Okay, so at this point, we want to go ahead and try and take this shock off. It's going to have to actually come off in order to get that carburetor out through that frame. Then we take these mounts. They're like engine mounts, but you got to get them off in order to get the carburetor off. Okay, so next course of action is to get that hot start thing off. And an important note here is that this little nut is actually plastic, so it can get easily stripped. And if it gets stripped and it doesn't make proper contact, you'll actually get an air leak through there and the bike won't run right. Old as shit. They're gonna be hard. That guy there needs to come off, and then the whole shock should find its way up. Alright. That was tough. So after you take this cover off, that'll give you access to the actual throttle cables, which should come off by loosening up one of those little nuts. And just pulling that cable right off, as you can see. I know my hand gets kind of in the way, but you should get the point. And then this last nut actually goes into the carburetor. You just got to twist it off, and it'll allow you to get a bunch of slack on that cable and just pull it all out. One second, okay? Pull this guy like so, and hopefully it's off. We should be able to slide this carburetor up and out. I'm going to pull all these overflow lines, which are brittle as hell like usual. Try not to break them because cool, see, that's how you get the carburetor off. Alright, so check it out. That's how you get that carburetor off of a YZ250F. Makes a lot of things easier if you take all the right things off. Now with the carburetor off, we're going to drain it and take it apart. So now that we're here, go ahead and remove these 4 bolts on the bottom of the carb. Watch out for a washer, spring, and O-ring that goes on that little needle. Yep, as expected. I'm surprised this thing even ran, dude, honestly. They must have had old gas sitting in there for so damn long. The main jet. This thing actually ran though, believe it or not. Was it cool?
Just one top.
Okay. Some more nastiness. So you push this little float out. So I don't recommend you use your air screw needle to push that out. You get this whole shebang out, buddy. We saved it, buddy. Hell yeah. That was a close call, man. I had to just make a perfect fit screwdriver. Dude, you gotta be really careful taking off these jets. It's always very risky. Boom. Okay, so this little needle slide looking thing comes apart, and there's a seal in it that you want to be very gentle with and not get any brake cleaner on it, because it will shrivel up and it won't work anymore. But besides that, you can take it apart and just kind of gently clean everything in it. Comes out like a whole little rolling. Alright, just came back from Ram Motorsports. They had this in stock. Okay, so now would be a good time to also pay attention to the accelerator pump diaphragm and inspect all those little things there. That's a whole nother video and tutorial that I need to do one day. And for the cleaning solution, I use carburetor cleaner. This leak jet goes into the bottom half of this carb. There we go. That goes in here. Got this big dude. Goes in there. Be very cautious if using power tools on carbs. I'm just being lazy, so goes over. Okay. Drop the needle into there. Careful not to bend it. Want to put this through there. That little bar that holds it. And then again, we'll want to measure and check our float height. Refer to your technical manual on how to do that, because just put this gasket back on. So for this here, now we're going to go ahead and put this thing on here. And for the air screw, I typically like to go all the way in and back it out about 1.5 turns just for a base setting, or you can find the exact base setting for your specific bike. And you're just gonna go ahead and start putting everything back together kind of the way it came off. Alright, now we can go ahead and toss this carburetor back in. Looks like that's the last thing. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of zoom through this installation. It's the same thing as taking it out, but this is just kind of a walkthrough so you guys get an idea of how the carburetor came off. Okay, so these nuts here are actually where you adjust your throttle slack. You can also adjust your accelerator pump through here, but you're going to want to read up on that and make sure you do that right. Our throttle is nice and crispy. Hey, so what's up everybody? So at this point we got the carburetor back on. It's rebuilt, it's cleaned. All we got to do now is put the shock back on, put the subframe back on and the tank, put some gas in it, and let it rip, man. Obviously check fluids, we got to check fluids too, but yeah, hey, we're about that point now, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward, putting all this stuff back on, and let's see if it fires up. Okay, so this part is always fun. Just go ahead and try to wrestle it in there without breaking anything. Okay, we can also go ahead and start putting on the engine mount. This thing's on, it turned on, and it runs fucking I mean, I don't know how it runs yet, but it turns on. It's even idling. So